Hello there, my very good friends. On today's wrestling news, a political power play in WWE.
I'm going to tell you why WWE offered fans refunds after this week's SmackDown.
We're going to be telling you why WWE were freaking out over Mustafa Ali.
And a spoiler on a surprise plan for tonight's Monday Night Raw. I'm Adam Wilborn.
I'm Andy Murray.
And this is the news.
Hardest news show in the game. We're going to kick things off by talking Rick Boogs.
I'm Boogsing out.
He's got a bit of a conspiracy theory here.
Love a good conspiracy theory, mate.
I love this. This is wild. It's not that wild at all, actually. He claims he was removed from WWE as a result of a backstage political power play. He uploaded one of his blogs to his personal YouTube channel. Which
I am subscribed.
Everyone is. Biggest channel in the game. This is my new thing. Just saying things are the biggest thing in the world. Eric Bugenhagen, that's his real name. He's on there. You can find it. You know where to go. You're on the platform right now. He commented on his WWE release a little bit. It was one of his workout blogs. I'll just read the quote. All right, fella, I'm not going to do a voice because he's very expressive and I can't match his charisma. All right, fellas, we're back. And let me tell you, it's been an interesting time in my life, with my job in WWE being terminated due to a backstage power play. At least that's my opinion of it, but now's not the time to talk about that. I will get into detail about that when the time is right. So you'd imagine that Mr. Boogs is prohibited from maybe going into details on stuff like this until his non-compete expires. He's technically still employed by the company until that,
of course,
comes in. 90 days for main roster talent. And then in the comment section, he jumped in and said, I can say with 100% certainty, the removal of Vince McMahon killed my career. So the insinuation here is that Rick Boogs was a Vince McMahon guy. And then when Triple H came in as head of creative chief content officer, he was like, I don't fancy you as much, which does add up in the booking. Rick Boogs, Shinsuke Nakamura fighting for titles at WrestleMania last year. Boogs gets injured. He's out for 8 months. He comes back on TV. He's in backstage, gets some stuff on Raw, has a few matches on Raw, disappears. Gets drafted to SmackDown, has a couple of matches here and there, kind of disappears again. So his usage rate was a lot higher under Vince than it was under Triple H. It stands to reason, and this is us just editorializing.
Yeah.
He hasn't said this, but it stands to reason from what he's saying that maybe he was a Vince guy and then Triple H came in and he didn't fancy him.
Yeah. It makes a lot of sense, like you say. It all adds up. I'm gutted they got rid of Boogs. I've got to be perfectly honest. He was one of my favourites of the WWE releases. I think, the likes of Mustafa Ali and Emma are incredibly talented, but I loved whenever Boogs was on my telly. I'm disappointed in Triple H. He's not made many mistakes, but this is one of them in my opinion. I think Boogs is going to be absolutely fine. This right here is an open invitation. Mr. Boogs, if you would like to have an interview on this channel, I would love to sit down and talk to you. And I think, he's going to be fine. He's going to get a shed load of indie dates. I saw the clip of Cardona doing the rounds over the weekend. I'd love to see him wrestle someone like that. They could have a load of fun. And just off the top of my head, we were talking about this in the office the other day. If he linked up with a Joe Hendry in Impact Wrestling for just a wild guess, I think that could be a load of fun as well.
He's not going to struggle for work at all. He's got too big a personality. Yeah. He's too entertaining.
Look at the bloody size of him as well.
Yeah, he's gigantic as well. That's the thing. He went away, was injured, serious injury, came back twice the size. He was like, I'm going to put this time to good use. So, I love the Boogs. I was disappointed he got cut as well. Just a fun presence on TV, man. Free Boogs. Well, he is, I guess, kind of free, but employ Boogs in 90 days.
Let us know in the comments where you'd like to see Rick Boogs show up next, because he's going to, and he's going to be awesome wherever he does
Festival, AEW Impact.
Yeah, he could rock. Oh, God,
Guns N' Roses' fourth guitar player. There's plenty of options.
Let's move over though and talk about this week's SmackDown. Sort of a weird ending. John Cena get his ass handed to him, and he's got apparently no friends in the locker room.
Johnny No Mates.
Yeah, but the reports you may have seen over the weekend was that LA Knight, was set to be involved in that. But at the last minute, he had to be pulled from the show because he got COVID. And WWE offered refunds to fans off the back of this. This comes from Wrestling Observer's Daily Update. Dave Meltzer writing that they announced that Knight wasn't going to be on the show and offered refunds. Cena Knight in a Street Profits dark match was also scrapped. You may have seen Cena versus Montez Ford. If anyone's got footage of that, please send it over. I'd love to see something like that. But he tested positive for COVID. I weirdly forget sometimes that COVID's still a thing.
It's wild.
I think, because you put your mind together and go, okay, Bloodline tag, AJ Styles hospitalised. Who could possibly tag with Cena at, what's the next one, Fastlane?
Yeah.
I think timings-wise, he should be fine for that. I think it's a 5-day period, maybe 10 days at the most.
I guess it depends how bad he's got
exactly.
it as well. Yeah.
But yeah, an interesting move that WWE, because it's very rare that they say, do you want some money back? They just say, well, card subject to change.
They don't even usually announce pullouts unless it's like a Roman Reigns level person. So yeah, no, good for them. Like, this is how it should be.
Absolutely.
If people have paid money to see somebody and that somebody can no longer be on the show, even if it's out with their control, as something like this is, it is a very good gesture to go, hey, would you like your money back? Offer it. And to be fair, given how hot the current WWE product is and how hot tickets are, I don't think many people would have taken them up on that.
I enjoyed SmackDown regardless,
Yeah, best wishes to LA Knight. Obviously, COVID's extremely variable. It could be just like, it could be asymptomatic. Who the heck knows? But if he's tested positive, he obviously needs to spend some time away from people, not pass it on.
And a quick reminder, everyone, just stay safe out there.
Yeah, stay safe. Like, it's the kind of thing where, like, it was such a prominent part dominating every aspect of our lives for like 2 years. These days, when you hear of it, you're like, oh yeah, this thing is still a danger. This thing is still a threat.
Absolutely.
So stay safe out there. Look after yourselves, and yeah. Best wishes to LA.
And if you are stuck at home because you've got COVID, why not subscribe to the WhatCulture Wrestling podcast channel?
The biggest podcast in the world.
You don't have to have COVID to subscribe for that, by the way.
No, anyone can.
Anyone can.
Anyone can. What on earth?
Let's move on.
Yeah, what are we doing? Right, what's the next story? I've forgotten it already.
I remember.
Yeah.
Mustafa
Ali. I'm just gonna straight up say this. I think that Nick Hausman's source is full of crap here, but I'm gonna go for it. House of Wrestling reporting that WWE freaked out a bit over Mustafa Ali. Remember, he did the political style promo.
Yeah.
He was in the suit. He was on the podium. He was like speaking to America in his quest for the North American Championship.
He was unsurprisingly great at this.
Yeah.
And they did nothing with it.
100%. House of Wrestling, good reporting here, as always. Noting that the vignette sparked concerns. In WWE, the video, the promo, whatever you want to call it, a bunch of people in WWE freaked out about this, and it might have led or contributed to his WWE release last week. It stated that SmackDown carriers Fox had expressed nervousness over Ali heading in a political direction. Shortly after this, the gimmick was completely dropped. House Wrestling notes that Ali had pitched this gimmick as a main roster thing several times and been shot down, or for it to be turned down, whatever. And they note that WWE sources indicated they don't think that Ali was ever going to get pushed, given a big opportunity in the promotion.
What could have been?
Yeah, 100%. And what could be somewhere else,
yes.
Hopefully. The former Cruiserweight Classic competitor, he's a professional guy. He was upbeat backstage, smiling and stuff. Like, he conducted himself professionally throughout his NXT run, even though, like, he was not that happy about his position in the company. So, I don't know about this gimmick, about them freaking out over the promo, because everything that makes it to WWE TV is approved by WWE,
yes.
Unless someone from Fox has gone rogue and gone, hey, blah, 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 blah. But look, they literally, Mustafa Ali was in Retribution, which was a rib on Antifa.
Yeah.
Like, what? Linda McMahon ran for Senate. The people within WWE contributed millions of dollars to political causes. But you don't make wrestling political. It's silly.
I'm taking this with a pinch of salt, I have to say, because I thought the exact same thing when I saw this story. Of like, I remember watching it and I didn't think, ooh.
Yeah.
Like, I was intrigued. I love, Mustafa Ali was incredibly creative throughout his time in WWE. They just, kept ruining it. Like, he was the SmackDown hacker and the head of... It's been a while since I did that.
What was that?
That's an attempt at retribution.
Okay.
But they just ruined both of those things in this at the same time, which is, I'm not even mad. That's amazing.
Yeah.
But I don't think this was the catalyst in him leaving. I think them wanting to trim the fat and him already having previously asked for his release, and the fact that they thought, they're not going to really push him, so what are they doing with him? And he'd done loads of stuff, different stop-start stuff on the main roster, and had done stuff in NXT, although he was set for a title match this coming weekend.
How could they do that to No Mercy, man? How could they do it?
It's going to be arguably the best wrestling show of the weekend, in my opinion.
Someone's going to get you for that.
But Tony Khan, I know I always sit here and say, stop signing so many people. Sign Ali. He's more than worth it. And even Sid just said, you got a straight up match with Danielson out the gate. Awesome.
Danielson loves him as well.
Yeah.
Danielson is a big proponent of Mustafa Ali. He's going to end up there.
It is interesting seeing stuff come out, though, about that has obviously went on telly, but what stuff people have pitched. Did you see the Maximum Male Models thing? Or, I say no, the Marseille Mantoir thing where they were like doing a sort of Reservoir Dogs kidnapping referees gimmick? I like it. I think they're incredibly talented individuals as
They
well.
are so funny. Like they are unbelievably fun and entertaining together. It's like how did they find this chemistry? I have no idea. But
Stick
those
together,
two,
guys.
Yeah, those two are sensational. Hey, open invitation. Come speak to us.
Oh yeah,
come speak to us, friends.
Did you see
Have a great
Mansour's
time.
story about using? I think it was Shane McMahon's private toilet. I'll show you afterwards. I may have dreamt that. I'll be honest. I'm not getting a great deal of sleep at the moment, but I will show you afterwards.
We have to speak to these people. It's sensational.
Yeah, honestly, all the people who've been released, we'd love to chat to you all. And as we often say with these stories, you know, yes, we're sitting here saying, Harley will get picked up by AEW and hopefully Boogs will get signed by Impact Wrestling, for example. But nothing's promised. So if you're a fan of these guys, please go and support them on their social medias and what have you. Because after 90 days, it's just good luck. Best luck in your future endeavours.
Is that like the 20th of December? It's like you're working. Top Dollar, do you see his
He'll
rap
be
video?
fine.
His rap video?
Yep.
Is
he doing Prince Nana's dance as well?
Yeah, he's done like 1 million views or something. Shout, it's fair play.
Love him.
Fair play.
Right, let's move on to our final story of the day, and I will say spoilers ahead of tonight's Monday Night Raw, so if you'd like to go in completely unawares of what's going to happen, the timestamps are down there. You have been warned.
Should we get Sidgwick to interview Top Dollar for the channel? Why the hell not?
I would legitimately pay good money to watch that.
Sorry, I just interrupted you.
No, don't worry about it. Because the big news ahead of Raw tonight, Andy Murray, is the fact that former NXT Women's Champion Tiffany Stratton is going to be on the show. Obviously, she's been feuding loads with Becky Lynch, who recently took the NXT Women's Championship off her, and they're having an Extreme Rules match at No Mercy this weekend, so you sense it'll be setting this up. But yes, PW Insider's Mike Johnson reporting that she is going to be on the show, which is going down in Ontario, Canada, Canada? Where did I get that from? I read CA and my brain just completed the sentence. Ontario, California.
Canada-fornia.
Yes.
Yeah.
But Tiffany Stratton is going to be on the main roster, in my opinion, in the next 6 months. So good,
Yeah.
nice sort of setup for her. And they've had little brief things backstage with her anyway.
We should clarify, in case she doesn't actually appear on the broadcast, that she's going to be at the arena.
Yes.
So we don't know if she'll but you'd imagine she would. Becky's been announced for NXT, and they've got the match at the weekend, the rematch at the weekend. Yeah, she's going to be on the main roster imminently. I think they'll flip the belt back to her, maybe give her another run in NXT, which makes sense. She's very young, like in wrestling sense. She's only been doing this for 2 years, so hey, why not? But at the same time, she's totally ready. She's easily one of the most promising prospects to emerge from the system in years. She's a natural at this. She projects. She's putting it together in the ring 100%. There was some really silly dialogue around the title change the other week.
God.
I'm not even invested in NXT emotionally or story-wise at all. But seeing people talking about her being buried, it was the most ridiculous, nonsensical gibberish I've ever seen, and a good sign that another reminder that Twitter is not real life and not reflective of the reality of situations. It's nonsense. She did great in that match. It elevated her in defeat. Becky's a legend. You can lose to her. It's no problem. And guess what? She's going to beat her in the end. So I'm looking forward to seeing if she shows up on Raw. It adds a bit of excitement to the show.
And it sets up our questions actually quite nicely, because the first question today, at WhatCulture WWE on X, if you want to send us Twitter questions. Also, we take them from the YouTube community page, as we did late last week as well.
You post on that going up tomorrow afternoon. So if you want a question on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday's video, look out for the post.
Keep your eyes peeled. Matt Ryan Aussie Dead says, is there a very strong chance you feel by around the Rumble the likes of Tiffany Stratton, Roxanne Perez and Bron Breakker are bound for the main roster?
Yeah, I think so, sooner rather than later. That's probably the leading three candidates right there, right? Unless you're talking about maybe the Creeds as well.
Ooh.
Or Carmelo and Trick.
Ooh.
I do think it's probably about time to start taking that top group of NXT prospects and shifting them up, right? Not that anyone is Bryan Danielson level worker or whatever, but that's not what it's all about. It's about building people for the WWE.
They're ready,
system.
aren't they?
Yeah, they're more than ready. And taking them out of NXT refreshes the pool down there as well, and allows more people to come on TV and learn their craft and experience TV wrestling down there and break out.
And it's got a little bit better in terms of, look at someone like Pretty Deadly, people coming up from NXT not being told, right, completely change your gimmick and you're going to lose your first 6 months of matches.
Yeah, 100%. It's really working out quite well for Odyssey Jones in particular, going to the main roster, of course.
Genuinely forgot about him.
Yeah, what on earth? What a strange situation. But yeah, no, I'm being facetious.
Perez was in the Rumble this year as well, wasn't she?
Yeah, she's great. She's a prodigy. All these people are.
Yeah.
Bring them up. Come on.
Right, next question today comes from Mark Smith, who writes, Morning Legends. Morning, Mark. Which wrestling surprise popped you the most, and which surprise did you find as surprising as finding Smarties in a Smarties tube?
John Cena, in terms of being the biggest surprise in the Royal Rumble, I say this over and over and over.
Yeah.
But like the Lazarus return from injury, he wasn't supposed to be back for months and months and months, and the crowd reaction is objectively hilarious. Least
wait a second, we don't like you.
Yeah. Least surprising surprise of all time for me is legitimately CM Punk's comeback in 2021.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite returns ever, like top 2 or something, right? It was perfect, it was amazing, it was great, it was like people crying in the audience. You can't make that up. It was unbelievable. But it wasn't a surprise.
No.
Because they told you he was coming.
Yeah, it was one of those things, we talked about it in the build-up, obviously. We were 99% convinced it was going to happen. If it hadn't happened, I don't know what... People would have rioted.
They played it perfectly.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not criticising the approach, but it wasn't a surprise.
No. In terms of big surprises for me, I mean, you have to sort of say Edge at the 2020 Royal Rumble. It's very rare in this game that we're in that you don't just go... I mean, Andy, we've all seen this. It's going to happen. A huge pab in the WhatCulture office when that happened.
Nia Jax.
Going a bit further back, Nia Jax, arguably, yes, actually, very recently, and The Rock on SmackDown just the other week. I had no idea about that because I didn't check Twitter because why would I? And going slightly further back, when Shane returned, I was like,
Lockbox, baby.
Oh, that's the a very rare occasion that I was like, yes, Shane McMahon's here to save us. And in terms of obvious ones, yeah, the Punker is good. I also thought of that time when they were like, ooh, Andy Murray, can you crack the code? It's X + 1, 2, and 9. I was like, so it's Y2J. So it's Chris Jericho.
Yeah.
It wasn't exact. You don't have to be your man who invented the code cracking thing.
What's his name?
I was watching The Imitation Game the other day.
That's his name.
His name.
Oppenheimer.
Yes,
that's the one.
That's the one. Yeah, that one was...
Morse. Inspector Morse.
That's surprising. Final question today comes from Eddie...
Toby Morse.
Eddie Sam Harry. This one's for me. Sorry, Andy. Eddie writes, hello, boys. This question's for all but only. If you and your wife go outside for a day... We do still go outside.
What? If you see the sun.
We're not housebound. Wait, so you can tell how old I am now. We went for a lovely trip to Gibbside, a National Trust place over the weekend.
Bit Tory.
I felt like my parents, yeah.
Yeah.
Don't Labour, live Tory, guys.
God,
Jesus, don't do that. I was only joking. Right, so we're away, and we're going to let a male and female wrestler babysit for that day. Is it Mox and Renee, Mijo? Oh, my brain's not working.
Mijo?
Miro and CJ Perry, MJF and Tony, Montez and Bianca, or Cody and Brandy. Spoiled for choice there.
Ooh, yeah.
All good candidates.
Would you want to inflict your children on the chaos of the Codyverse? I
Maybe
don't know.
not.
I don't know. Something wacky would happen.
I love Miro, but I think Eric would be absolutely terrified by him.
I'd be a bit intense, I feel.
And people would think, you're going to pick your best friend, aren't you? But I'm not. I'm going to pick Montez and Bianca.
I would say them as well. They seem like really well-adjusted, just decent people.
Yeah, they're just out of those options. There's some wild options in there, and I just think, I think even Annalise would be like, he'll be absolutely fine there.
Not that the other people aren't well-adjusted, reasonable people, but Montez and Bianca in particular is a cream of the crop.
He's nearly 6 weeks old now.
What?
That's wild, isn't it?
6 years old. Gee whiz. Why isn't he in school? Late.
So he should get a bloody job. Pay his way soon.
Does he want a spot on the team? I'm not currently recruiting, but he'll have to wait his turn.
Yeah.
I've got a few on the waiting list. So, there you go.
There you go. Right. Let us know your thoughts on that. Let us know your thoughts on this video right here. We're off. Bye.
Done.